This reading is for Jason. Jason, I want to thank you so much for choosing me to do your life reading today. So let's jump into it. So the first card that comes up is the Fool card. And no, it does not mean on any level that you're a fool. It is talking about you taking the first steps into the unknown. You don't really know where you're headed at this exact point, and I don't think that anybody expects you to. I really want you to start to follow your heart. I want you to kind of trust where the universe is taking you. You're not 100% ready for any of this. And again, no one expects that you would be. I know you don't have a plan yet of how you're going to navigate it or feel like you have exactly what you need to even do this at this point. But I want you to start to watch for the signs. I want you to treat this new chapter you didn't expect to be in the book. I want you to treat it like an experiment and kind of flow into whatever you intuitively are feeling is right for you at this point. You're definitely in this you're definitely in this period of change, and you have somebody really special guiding you now from the other side. And I know it'd be easier if she was here, but I want you to know that she is there. She is supporting you on this journey, and she's going to give you little clues along the way. You also have the rest of your spirit team, your spirit guides, your angels. You have a team over there supporting you as well as here. So the next card that comes up is talking about the challenges. Again, this comes from having to and being forced to make change. But this card is talking about it being so on a material level, which is what the Pentacles card typically represents: money, material things like that. You have made some decisions or may have decided about attempting to work on this kind of goal, this kind of dream that you had been putting off. Right now, I do feel like you have the money to make this a reality for yourself, to make this happen. So I want you to stop doubting that you can make these hard, big decisions on your own, because you have what it takes to make this happen, and you need to learn to trust your own judgment. Consciously, I feel like you know that you need to make self-care and self-love a big priority for yourself right now. You know that for you, self-care is also about being in nature and kind of getting out there to ground your energy again. I feel like that's important for your healing process. And I feel like you know that in your relationship, it's not that the two of you were codependent in an unhealthy way, but you are very much a tight-knit partnership. So in order for you to make decisions on your own, it makes it a little bit harder without her to bounce that off of. Being solo is incredibly new, and it can be really hard to navigate. And I think you're aware of that. Now, unconsciously, again, this will come into the material financial realm because it is, again, a pentacle card. Your grief is causing you to kind of resist the flow of change that's going to basically what I'm trying to say is everything has come to a halt. But allowing it to stay at a halt is going to make things harder for you on a financial level. You have to kind of create a new normal. You have to build a new routine in your life, be this in a new location, having some new activities, or changing a job. You'll start to get life back in order with time. You have to kind of embrace the change and not stay stagnant, because there will be financial repercussions if you allow it to do so. Now, this card right here is talking about your recent past, and this card right here is making what I just said make a little bit more sense to me. I feel like before any of this happened, you were more inclined to give just anything a try, because you had a solid sense of your dreams for the future, your path for the future. Yes, there were some complications financially with starting something new. There were some definite obstacles, but you did have a solid plan in place of what you wanted. And also, I feel like you were definitely, and I know you've talked to me about this before, but you were definitely on this path of self-discovery and choosing this intense spiritual path for yourself. So this brings us into kind of where you are coming into for the near future. While you also have this major caretaking energy that Angela also seemed to share, I do feel like you are going to kind of turn that into, I'm trying to find the right way to word it. You're going to turn more of that nurturing energy more inward and towards yourself. You're kind of learning how to be independent, financially independent, balancing that budget on a solo income. Perhaps you might even start to work for yourself if you're not already. I feel like that's a possibility for the near future for you. I feel like you are going to, within these next 3 months, really start to take on cooking again. I feel like cooking was kind of a thing you shared with her, and doing it on your own has been incredibly depressing and difficult for you. Even eating. Initially, I know in grief, eating can be very hard. That's an obvious, but I feel like things will start to be more normal in the regards to that within these next 3 months. You're going to start to find some balance. Things are going to be a little bit wiggly for a bit here. You know, the juggling of work and home life, you know, taking care of the children. You're still going to wrestle with this feeling that there's never enough time in a day. You are having to take on a lot on your own without having that partner. That makes it hard. I need to let you know that it's okay to trust in some other people to help you with this load, because it is a lot, especially in the beginning. In the beginning, it's hard to find what I would call your sea legs with things. Advice, you know, everything has changed. That's the reality of it. Everything has been put on hold, and it is through no choice of your own at all. Your resistance. I feel your resistance. And it's going to be a little important for you to learn to surrender to what is. And I know that's easier said than done, to come to the place where you're accepting how the way things should have been, were supposed to be, they just can't be now. It's very hard. It's mourning, and it's continuing in a new direction regardless of it being hard. So again, having to still continue with the flow of life, even when it's not what you wanted. You're going to need to kind of stop waiting for that 100% readiness that I talked about earlier, because there's never going to be a time where you're going to be 100% ready for any of this, and you're always going to wish this had not happened the way that it did. But it's important that you continue on. This card in this position during this reading represents people. Again, this is the Lover's card, but it can also mean that you are having some very conscious connections and meaningful relationships at this point in time. There is an outpouring of true love, tremendous love in your direction. People are showing compassion, they're showing support. They have this tremendous respect, and this is all flowing towards you. So I feel like that would be accurate at this point. As far as your hopes and fears, this has a lot to do with emotion. You being able to keep control of your feelings and accept them without allowing them to kind of get the better of yourself. And this final placement